And what's cracking, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. Holy macaroni. Are you guys watching XRP right now? You know what? Just let's cue the intro. I mean, I haven't gone live that fast, ever. But guys, this is a 4-hour chart. Are you guys watching this? $2.82 on XRP. What a freaking diabolical move that was. This 4-hour candle, guys, 7.69%. All right. And which is so funny because before, just this morning, man, so much is happening. Life is busy right now. But just this morning, I'm like, I'm going to go and do a live stream, right? It was supposed to be like a general live stream. And however, getting into this one, I decided that, hey, this is before the pump happened. This is before I actually found out about the pump. I was like, okay, you know what? Today I'm gonna keep this live stream rather short. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on, well, the two of my favorite coins, XRP and Bitcoin. I'm gonna make this stream only about the two. Okay, and I in fact just got a question on the Grove asking me, hey Krisha, do you think XRP can get a pullback? If you're in here, I hope he's in here. But I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm sure a lot of you guys have the same questions, so I'm gonna come out here and actually answer everything on XRP on live stream. And hey, XRP is actually looking freaking amazing. And I was setting up the charts, and I'm like, okay, XRP USD, just like setting it up, and then pop. I'm like, wait. Am I seeing this right? Did XRP just rip 7%? So yeah, we're pretty much witnessing this together. So yeah, I'm gonna go through the chat right now. Here's how we're gonna do this, guys. Today is only going to be an XRP and Bitcoin focused live stream. Okay. However, here's what I want you guys to do. The markets are ripping. I think that this is the next markup phase across the board. Okay, we are going to be covering the altcoins as well as Bitcoin on not just the live streams, but on the dailies as well. So if you guys have any coins you want us to focus on, get into the comments. Okay, in fact, I'm going to be keeping an eye out on this, on the live stream as well. Okay, on the chat. And I'm going to be looking for which ones are requested the most. I'll be keeping a note on these, putting it in my notepad, and I will be actually spitting out daily videos for you guys. Alrighty, but today, before we begin, I want to let you guys know that this live stream, okay, this live stream qualifies for the $2,000 giveaway. Alright, so all you gotta do to enter the giveaway, guys, this is free money at the corner of the room. The markets are ripping right now. You have literally been given free money to put on trades with. Do not fade the free money at the corner of the room. All you gotta do to qualify for the giveaway is get into the link below to Bitunix, okay, sign up for an account, deposit 50. That's it. That's how you qualify. All right, that's how I know that, hey, you have entered the giveaway competition. All right, on the next live stream, which is either tomorrow or day after, we're gonna do a whole spin the wheel, and I'm gonna be announcing the winners live in front of you guys. Alrighty, so just earlier this week, someone walked away with 1,000. We had 4 winners. All right, free money dropped into their account. So don't fade the free money at the corner of the room. This is how you get into the description. Click on it. Sign up for an account, deposit 50, voila. And in addition to that, you got deposit bonuses. You deposit $2,000, you get $400 back. Hell, you get free money for just signing up. You get a whole $10 for just signing up. All right, so take advantage of this for as long as it lasts. Right now, guys, XRP, I'm so excited. Whew, no music today, XRP's our music. Okay, let's take a step back. Weekly time frame, can we all just look at this and appreciate how well this has kept everybody in the trade? All right, XRP not once. I've been coming out here over daily, weekly, giving you guys XRP analysis, telling you it's not time to get bearish. It's just simply not time. I got so much flack from a lot of people in the comment section saying that XRP is dead. All right, you got to ask yourself at one point, why is the market going to pay you? Why is the market going to pay you? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you wherever you are in whatever part of the world you're in. Why is the market going to pay you? It's going to pay you for your patience. You know, half the time you'll find that if you had done just nothing, all right, you did nothing with your position, so you just held, just stayed patient, you probably came out winning. You always look back in hindsight, you're like, damn it, what did I do? Why did I try to get cute? I should just done nothing. Okay, and you'll find that XRP is one of those coins that, believe it or not, guys, it actually rewards you for just sitting and being patient on those trades. So for those of you who've been following my analysis, you've been following the TA, you've been keeping a calm mind, all right, you held on to your positions, waited for those confirmations, and you are now reaping the benefit of this freaking move. Congratulations to you guys. You guys friggin' deserve this. You guys deserve this. All right, so pat on the back to each and every one of you. Now, also, you know what? I'm not going to disparage here. Pat on the back, of course, the XRP holders who held true, but pat on the back if you're here right now watching this live stream. All right, you're here even when the markets were dead. You're here even after the markets have been dead. Okay, the volatility was squeezed out of the markets, but you were still keeping an eye out on these markets. This is opportunity. Do not fade this. All right, now XRP, what's happening? What's happening with XRP? I'm excited as hell because there are multiple things going on here. Okay, right off the bat, we have a total of 3 pattern breaks. We have a total of 3 bullish pattern breaks. Okay, the first one, the most exciting one. Okay, I'm going to turn off all my indicators. The most exciting one, guys. Let's get in. Is that massive multi-cycle symmetrical triangle formation. I'm gonna need to get rid of. Krisha, you are messy today. Well, I'm excited. Apologies, I'm just talking to myself here. But I am excited, so you should be excited too. But we've had this multi-cycle symmetrical triangle, all right, which broke out in November of last year. November, remember guys, November was when everyone got super duper excited. You know, XRP just ripped in everyone's faces. XRP ripped in everyone's faces. And well, that was a 400% move. 400%. But not only did it rip, in that crazy pump that XRP had, we broke out of a macro pattern. And I'll be honest with you, I've been like scouring many of the charts, you know, over the past months. There is no chart that has a cyclical pattern as neat as XRP. All right? And this is something that I had said in the past. I'm like, if XRP gets up to these crazy targets like $23, right? If there's any cycle that does that, it's gonna be this cycle. I want you guys to look at evaluate every asset that you get into, irrespective if it's crypto or TradFi. You gotta not only evaluate, okay, price action, what does it have in terms of, you know, the foundation of the project, but evaluate the story of the project. All right, the story for XRP has not been this powerful since 2017. And let me tell you something. For those of you who were not here in the 2017 bull run, XRP was the most talked about coin. All right, I had my dad calling me saying, Krisha, should I get into XRP? I'm like, no, Dad, buy Bitcoin. He's like, no, Krisha, I want XRP. All right, it was that insane. It was that insane. All right, so we have the story also unfolding right here, all right, for XRP. Now, as far as the symmetrical triangle is concerned, today's title is XRP's path to $23. XRP's path to $23. Okay, I've been yapping about this target since last year, before even November. I've been yapping about it since I think August or September was when I put out that video. But how do we get that $23 target? Well, it is the measured move of that massive symmetrical triangle that we've been looking at. In fact, if you're really taking the entirety of the symmetrical triangle, we're looking at targets even past $23, right? But it's in that $20 range, guys, that $20 range. And I remember when I presented that $20 target to everybody, and it was right here. Okay, it was right here. Price, I mean, consider the optics. Consider XRP story then. All right, what was XRP story? Let's be honest. What was XRP story? The SEC FUD, it's so many cases, it's been a dead coin, it's just been moving sideways, XRP is a stable coin, blah, 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 blah. Okay, if you fell for all of that, you missed the bigger picture. Okay, you missed the bigger picture. You missed this entire structure that was being drawn out in your face. All right? Because XRP then went to rip. And when it was sitting here, imagine if I came out here and told you, hey, XRP's next move is going to be a 500% move to the upside. XRP's next move, and that's pretty much what I did, right? I said, hey guys, XRP's next move is going to be to $23. And people thought I was a lunatic. They laughed at me. Okay, these videos are out there. You guys can go back into the comment section and actually see these comments. Well, it's one thing that they did not age well, but it's also, there's a lesson in there, right? Your biggest edge is going to be about being able to be very preemptive with your allocations. You know, it's easy to look at a pump and be like, oh yeah, it's bullish. Yeah, duh. It pumped. It's bullish. All right. What's going to make you special, what's going to give you the edge is knowing when to position before these pumps even happen. When everyone is saying that, okay, XRP is dead, do you have that presence? Do you know how to dissect the chart, understand the story unfolding in front of you and be like, you know what? This right here is opportunity, right? XRP right there was opportunity and it pumped a good 400%. What was that rally? That was an insane rally. Man, our XRP trade has been pretty sick so far. 445%. Okay, 445%. I'm like, okay, that's good. And now for the first time, we broke over that $2.01 region, and this is something that I brought up in the previous daily video. I'm like, guys, don't fade XRP here. This is not the time. I'm like, XRP has been doing something it had never done before in all the previous cycles, which was hold 201 as support. $2 was that same region it had got rejected off of in 2017, okay, 2017-2018 bull run, as well as the previous bull run of 2021. This was the first time in its history it ripped and it broke and it held it as support. You need, when you're trading something, all right, your emotions are taking over. Guys, if you're going to be trading based on emotion, go to the casino, okay? Don't do this. There are easier ways to gamble and lose, all right? There are guidelines here, all right? You gotta figure out, is the asset giving you permission to sell? Okay, the permission is going to be based on things like the $2.01 region, your regions of critical resistance that it had reclaimed and then used it as support. That is your permission. Only if it breaks do you know that, okay, you got permission to sell, right? And that's where trading is. It's a game of more than your TA, it's a game of discipline and risk management, right? Why do I came out just like, 10 days ago, and I said, yo guys, $2.01, this is the bid, okay? You don't go selling XRP here. This is a bid opportunity. Don't be stupid about this. Don't be stupid about this, all right? In fact, even the Mango dashboard, if you get into the dashboard, app.mangoresearch.co, XRP USDT, I highlighted this for you. I'm like, guys, the 4 hour and the 12 hour currently long, telling you that, hey, XRP is flipping bullish. Now, all you got to do is set in that alert. Now, I had an alert right here on XRP. Click that freaking alarm, okay, and look for your daily trend to flip long. That's all you had to do. I even gave it to you on a platter. I'm like, just look for this. Okay, set in your alert. It's going to give you an alert via email saying that, hey guys, the daily has flipped long. Now's the time to be watching XRP because there is a trade opportunity on there. All right, XRP flipped long. This daily flipped 11 days ago, exactly when I put out that video. All right, back then it was not long, by the way. It was neutral that day. And then shortly after, it flipped long. If you had an alert, you got an alert via email, okay, telling you that, okay, it's gone off. Time to look at the chart. And check this out. Since then, it's done 30% on the move. 30%. I get it. Everyone is busy. Okay, I get it. It's very easy to fall victim to the noise around you and the bearishness around you. I mean, you look at the world, it's not in a very good place. People are, well, people in certain countries are struggling to meet ends meet. The numbers are showing recessionary numbers. I get it. The optics outside are not good, right? But you cannot go based on optics because it's too subjective. How do you quantify things like this? What you can quantify is price action. What you can quantify and really sort of trade off of is your TA, all right? What you can quantify is your risk management parameters, all right? So I want you guys to always fall back on there and cut off the noise. Because if you had done that, if you had fallen back onto your objective indicators, the dashboard, the dynamic, I mean, you're up a good 30% just in the past 10 days. All right? In the past 10 days, you're up a good 30%. Now, in addition to this, okay, I want to highlight something else. I'm going to go over the pattern. There's a cascading pattern flow happening. The first one I've shown you, all right, symmetrical triangle breakout. This broke out in November. There are two more patterns that broke out here. Okay, I'm going to show that to you in a bit. But before that, I'm going to just go over the chat. Everyone's so excited. I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. Justin Wilson says 296, 297. I love the countdown. Alrighty. 3 Diglets is in here. How's it going? Yo, can't believe y'all are on this early. Is $23 a conservative prediction? Like, think about it. Okay, now this is where I want you guys to be very, very careful and be very cognizant of how you are evaluating targets, right? $23 just last month. It was just like, Krisha, $23? Are you insane? People call me insane, you know, but when prices start to rip, they're like $22, pff, $100. Catch yourself in that. Catch yourself in that. All right. In the seed program, Sean goes over psychology a lot, right? Trading it's like a psychological game. You got to catch yourself when you're falling into certain fallacies, right? This is one such fallacy, okay, where it's a mental game, right? Price barely starts ripping, then the noise starts picking up, $23, oh, psh, $23, $100, right? And what happens is that people are in really good positions. Why am I bringing this up? People are in really, really good positions, right? Prices rip. It gets up to your targets that you had forecasted back when you were objective, back when the markets weren't ripping. You were an objective trader, right? You got to understand when you're an objective trader and when your animal spirits come out. You got to be able to sort of identify that. But when you're an objective trader, you're like, $23 is your target. You take note of that, right? But what happens is that when the animal spirits pick up as the bull run moves on, your target, there's like a target creep. Okay, be very cognizant of a target creep if you ever fall victim to this, because what ends up happening is that people who are in really good positions don't ever end up taking out profits from the market because there's a target creep. They're like, no, $23, this guy here is saying $100, right? When it comes, we are now in the next phase of the markup, okay, we can all agree, market's looking great. Now, what your next step, guys, is understanding what is your plan for your position. These are the questions that you ought to start asking yourself. What is the plan for your position? How do you intend on managing this, all right, as we reach certain targets? Don't let target creep get to you, because it will. You're going to want it. Everyone's always, counting their chickens before the eggs hatch, but it's going to get there, all right? Now, one way in which you can sort of navigate around it is just by having a plan. Note it down. Like, I have so many books. I mean, I keep telling you about this. I have, like, at least right now on my table, just my table, not even my shelf above, I got, like, 6 books, just trading books, my trade plans, how I intend on approaching certain long-term positions and short-term positions. All right, so have that noted down, because this right now is your objective trader. For when your animal spirits actually wake up, you have notes from the objective self saying that, yo, this was the plan. Don't fade the plan. Okay, don't fade the plan. $23 clickbait. How is this clickbait? $23, guys, is the symmetrical triangle. It is the symmetrical triangle measured move. That is $23. All right. Okay, going through the chat. And also one thing, guys, one thing I've noticed when I give you guys targets, think long term, right? These are all long-term targets, and this was a really handsome target. Well, I mean, think about it. People thought it was impossible. That was a 3,200% from where I called $23 $223, 3,200%, right? 3,000% is not going to happen in a couple of weeks. You got to be very reasonable about your timelines as well. If you're not reasonable about your timelines, you're just going to put yourself in a pickle. Okay, you're going to end up fumbling on a really, really good position because you're like, oh, but it didn't get up to the target of $23 in a matter of 5 weeks. Yo, it's not gonna. Okay, give me one asset that will. Okay, so now on the next phase of XRP, what I wanted to introduce to you guys, okay, is switch on the equilibrium tracker. For those of you who have access to the Mango Dynamic, switch on your Mango Dynamic indicator. By the way, if you don't have time, okay, you don't have time. You got work, you got a family, you just don't want to be trading full time, but you want to make money. I get it. Okay, don't let anybody shame you for your position and how you want to approach the market. Okay, all you need though is the discipline, all right? And you need a plan around your trades. That being said, okay, if you do not have the time, all right, make sure that you're falling back onto some objective indicators that you can trust and you have put the work into. Okay, backtest it, put the work into those objective indicators because that is going to be your guideline for the rest of the bull run, wherein you can make money while having minimal risk management. Okay, but these are, now I'm using the weekly dynamic because XRP was a long-term play for me, right? We've been building the XRP position since 62 cents before the breakout, alrighty? Now, the weekly dynamic, all right, has been our guide in, well, I'm looking for XRP to break underneath the weekly dynamic for me to be like, okay, bull run over. Okay, bull run over. I'm going to start hedging my position. Now, I was forced to hedge. I was forced to follow my plan right here, all right? I had to hedge a bit of my XRP position. I'm like, it's broken. It's broken the system. Broken the system. I'm going to follow my rules, all right? So I hedged a bit. However, what happened? It reclaimed weekly dynamics, saying that you are wrong on hedging. XRP kicked you out of your trade. Boo boo, too bad. You're gonna have to get back in. Did I get back in? Yes, I did. All right. But what this helps me with, it helps me stay objective and it also helps me risk manage because there was a probability, all right? It's all probabilities. This is a game of probabilities, not certainties here. There's a probability that, okay, XRP breaks, gets rejected on that weekly dynamic and sees another tumble down. Right? I did not want to fall victim to this because I had a really, really pretty position. I was in really good profits. Right? I'm not going to give up my profits because I decided to be in discipline on my plan. All right? So this is to say, guys, if you're ever running out of time, you want to make money from these markets, you just don't have that time investment that you can give to it, that's fine. Play the high time frames, fall back onto some of the best objective indicators. Now, we are using the dynamic here. You might have something else, but fall back onto that and do the work. Now, with the dynamic, okay, we were looking at the equilibrium tracker, and 10 days ago, I said now is not the time to be fading XRP because look at the EQ tracker, guys. Completely, utterly crushed. The last time we had a similar dynamic, all right, was right here. Let me show you. Now, I drew parallels to this. Like if you're just looking at the EQ tracker, now this gives you a representation of the momentum, the volatility on the coin that you're looking at. When it's super crushed, almost like a line, that's saying that, okay, the juice over here has been squeezed out, right? We're looking for bullish compression. The last time we had was here, right before that 400% pump, right? And I came out here 10 days ago saying that this is akin to what happened right here, for those of you who managed to catch that video. Right. Now we are looking back at every single bull run, okay? Every single bull run. Let's go ahead, turn that on. I've actually gone ahead and highlighted it for you guys. In the previous bull run of 2020, okay? Now I'm just going to show you the efficacy of this. That way you guys know how to really fall back on certain things. We only had one instance where vol was completely crushed, okay? This was the bull run of 2020. One instance. Vol crushed. We're in a bull run, however. What did XRP end up doing? Rallied all the way up to $2. That was a good 938%, and that was still lackluster considering XRP was going through a lot of legal trouble. A lot of legal trouble. All right, still a good 938%. All right, one data point. That's not enough. Show me something else. Well, 2017, and I feel like what we're in right now is akin to 2017. Okay, why is that? Because in 2017, once again, you're looking at the equilibrium tracker, we only had two periods of, well, volatility getting completely squeezed out. We had one right here, April 2017, and the second one right here in November 2017. In April 2017, guys, did you catch the bottom? No, you did not. You did not catch the bottom. Okay, you caught the move only after it pumped. I'm going to be very honest here, okay? Only after it pumped, right? You caught this phase right here. Okay, I need to knock this drawing off. Give me a second. Cool. All right, you caught this dip right here. It was not the bottom, but it caught you on the most immediate pullback on XRP. XRP then went to rally a good 1,291%. All right, now what followed is very akin to what we all just went through. 6 to 7 months of absolute utter consolidation. It was all that juice was squeezed out of the market. Everyone was wondering, is this the end? Is this the end? I remember that summer. Right, everyone was so bloody bearish, my goodness, you know, and while price was putting in a bullish structure, we had a series of higher lows. All right, this was almost an ascending triangle formation, all right, a bull flag ascending triangle formation, which is very akin to what we're currently in. Think about it, okay? Not just that, all of that squeezed into what? Look back down to the equilibrium tracker, vol completely crushed. And I brought all of these data points up to you 10 days ago, okay? Now, if people actually fumble their positions right here, right, what did they miss out on? Well, they missed out on another 1,400% to the upside, right? Ask yourself always, why is the market gonna pay you? It's gonna pay you for your patience. As far as XRP is concerned, here's what's happening. Now, do you see the resemblance? We got a bull flag breakout. Okay, so now I've already shown you guys a symmetrical triangle formation to $23. Okay, in addition to that, a few more things going on here. Okay, we have two breakouts. All right, we got this falling wedge. Measured move to which takes XRP all the way up to $3.71, target number 1, okay, 371. But this is also going to be a breakout. This is also rather a breakout of a bull flag. So, you know, you see the cascade. There's a cascade going on right there. All right? Now, if I got to take the measure move, the bull flag, plot this on the break, we're looking at a target, bull flag target of $13 per XRP. $13. James said, I was buying when everybody was crying, and that's how it should be. Yes, guys, don't forget about the $2,000 giveaway on the next live stream. I'm going to be doing a spin the wheel for the giveaway winners. Okay, free money at the corner of the room. Get into the link below to Bitunix, sign up for an account, deposit $50. That's how you qualify. All right. Any reward you win from the $2,000 giveaway also stacks on top of your deposit bonuses. Guys, you deposit $2,000, you're literally getting $400 back to trade with. Free money for you to trade with. All right, this reduces your risk significantly on your trades. Now, oftentimes, what's the one thing that we always think about when we're putting on a trade, like where we like the trade setup, but we're still uncertain. You're like, what if this is the one time I get in on the trade and it goes south? Right? Everyone, the underlying feeling is that I don't want to lose money on this. First of all, it's trading. You're going to lose money. But what's cool, okay, over here is that you get to project that trade. You get to take that trade and not risk any money. Okay? You get all the upside without having to deal with the downside. All right? So when you get bonuses like this, when you get the free money opportunities like this, take advantage of it. Right? If you're signing up for a free account, you also get $10 just dropped into your account. right, just for signing up. Also, guys, Mango Dashboard. I uploaded a brand new premium video today, so please go ahead and watch that. We did send out an email, so you guys probably got an email. But essentially, what I tell you in the premium video is markets have ripped, right? How do you go about finding the coins worth looking at? How do you go about finding winning coins after the markets have ripped? It's difficult. I mean, you're buying into pumps at this point. How do you figure that out? Right? How do you know which ones should you be looking at still? Because you have an ocean. This is crypto. There is an ocean of coins. I mean, every day there's something new just dropping. How do you know which one should you be? How do you know how to filter them out? Okay, so watch that premium video because that's going to give you a good sort of idea of how do you go about picking out the winners. All right, and in addition to that, I also give you a really good trade setup on a certain coin that I am currently looking at. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. Would be nuts to enter a new coin. 3Diglet says, would be nuts to enter a new coin. I personally would add on top, onto the ones I already have. Yeah, I think position size matters, guys. Position size is always going to matter more than the magnitude of your, of the gain, right? You'll often find that if you have really, really good position size, you don't need that much of a gain. Like, it's about having a conviction position and not just having conviction in the project, but also having conviction in the project, but also having the position size to back up that conviction. That's going to yield you a lot more, okay, than a coin that pumps double that, but you only have a small position in that. Your position sizing is going to matter, but oftentimes you're always going to find, guys, that position sizing is also going to come through you having conviction in a certain project or a certain coin, any asset. And this doesn't just apply to crypto. This also applies to TradFi. Even Sean has mentioned, he's like, adding to existing positions is usually the way to go. Way easier to manage. It is. It is. Because, you know, I'll tell you, like, when I started trading, I was just one time, guys, I had, Jesus. I was trying to be disciplined, right? I had, I think, 18 to 20 coins. 18 to 20. Complete rookie, okay? 18 to 20 coins, and I was trying to sort of keep track on them on an Excel sheet. Right? I'm like, I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna keep track of everything. I'm gonna exit at the right time. I'm gonna enter at the right time. 18 coins. And it was such a bloody mess. It was such a mess. Okay, because trust me, crypto is correlated. I think we can all agree. When the markets dump, they all dump together. You are scrambling around when you have 18 positions, wondering how the hell do you exit these when they're all dumping simultaneously. It is stressful as hell. It is simply not mango. Okay, it's not mango. Okay, we want to focus on being stress-free with our trading approach. Having 18 positions open, and they were all it was like a large number of positions, but my position size was piss poor. It was so piss poor. And you know, just to sort of, maybe you've experienced this before. You've gotten a position on a certain altcoin, okay, and that altcoin has done exceptionally well. Like, you managed to catch like a 10x, right? You managed to catch that 10x. And if you haven't been in these shoes before, picture yourself in this, right? Say you put in $1,000. Put in $1,000. You managed to catch this crazy move. Everyone's so stoked about the move. Everyone who's in the coin's like, yo, I made hundreds of thousands of dollars. One guy made a couple millions of dollars. There were a lot of these stories in 2017. And you were also part of that trade. But you're looking at your position. You're like, well, I made money. I'm happy about it, right? But it was not as much as you thought it was going to be, because that position size that you had was too low for it to have made a difference when the markets ripped 10x. Right? So your position sizing, guys, is everything. Is everything. XRP right now has broken out of a bull flag, target to which comes in at around $13. Now, for those of you, someone asked a question on the in the Mango Grove. By the way, guys, if you're not in the Discord chat, what the hell are you waiting for? The mangoway.com/discord is the way to go. Jump in, jump in. So now as far as XRP's rally, XRP I think is trending on the 4-hour time frame. Not even, jeez Louise. It's not even the 4-hour, dude. This is like 1 hour. This is 30-minute time frame. This is not even 1 hour. This is 30-minute time frame. Exponential move. And this is what I meant, right? When XRP begins its trend, you're either in or you're not. It doesn't really give a shit, okay? I'm sorry for my French, but it doesn't care, okay? Which is why there are certain coins, you gotta understand the signatures. XRP signature is, well, you're either in or you're not, and when the move begins, it's an exponential move, okay? So, XRP, I say fall back onto the daily trend. You now want to find the next higher low on the daily trend, for those of you looking for pullback opportunities. All right. Any test of this breakout right here, okay, this entire region of resistance now flipped into support. Any test of $2.57, if we get that, is going to be a great bid. All right. I don't have a bid for you right now because this is an exponential breakout. This is a proper breakout. And I'm not going to, I cannot possibly come here every day and tell you to be patient, but also come in with a bid. It's a contradiction, right? It doesn't work. So right now I say if we get the pullback into 257, that's going to be a score bid. Do we get it? Yeah, maybe. 4-hour and 12-hour. Fall back onto your dashboard for this, by the way. 4-hour, 12-hour long signals, volatility flashing 97, 92. When you see volatility expand to these high red numbers, there is a likelihood, a probability that we do see that pullback. All right, so I say wait on the pullback. Don't jump into major exponential pumps because then managing the position becomes very, very difficult. Okay, becomes very difficult. This is not a massive pullback. Not a massive pullback. What you guys better be very vigilant of what time frame you're trading on. If you're trading on, like, if you're, how do I say this? If you're looking to catch these crazy moves to $23, but you're making trade decisions on like the 30-minute time frame and the 1-hour time frame, you're on the wrong time frame. Okay, if you're trading for the $13 target, if you're even trading for like all-time high and even maybe to 370, but you're trading on like 30-minute time frames, you're looking at the wrong time frame. Okay, you're gonna get chopped out. This is right now this is not a big pullback. This is a pullback, but a minor pullback, if even. But yeah, this is XRP for you guys. Any questions? I want to move on to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is also very... I want to move on to Bitcoin. I'm going to show you one last chart, and then we'll wrap. The last chart that I want to show you is when do I believe we're getting into the altcoin mania phase, okay? That chart is going to be important. But any questions on XRP right here? Guys, can we take a second to appreciate the dynamic indicator? It kept everybody on the right side of this one. And also, I hope you guys are using the position manager. Right now, there is a new update that got rolled out, which is the position manager. So essentially what happens here is that every time you get like a really good bid opportunity on any region of support, and you're just not on your computer to execute for whatever freaking reason, right? And prices pump on that. And you're there, I'm like, oh, shoot, I missed my bid. Should I still buy in? Have I lost the bid? Should I still get, is it safe for me to get in? The position manager now draws out a safe zone for you to get in on the trade safely. For as long as price is within that position manager zone, you're safe to get in. Easy to manage. If, however, prices have broken past that position manager zone, wait for the pullback. Right now, XRP is broken past that. Okay, so start using your objective tools. This one has kept us on the right side of almost every single cycle so far. It's caught you every single bull run as well as every single bear market, so do not fade it. Okay, Sean has linked it in the chat. The mangoway.com/dynamic is where you're going to find the indicators, so go ahead and check it out for those of you who have heavy positions on XRP. Oh, I'm past the clock. Okay, before I jump out, just a quick thing on Bitcoin. Bitcoin moves in linear phases as well as exponential phases. Okay, every cycle has a linear phase, every cycle has as well as an exponential phase. Throughout this entire cycle so far, since Jan of 2023, where the cycle began in earnest, to where price is at right now, we've still been only in the linear phase. Okay, we've not gotten out of the exponential phase just yet. And this is where you might very well see some opportunity. Like for instance, the previous cycle of 2020, linear phase, all right? Then we suddenly got into the exponential blowout phase, right? That was the linear, heading into exponential. That's when we had like a lot of helicopter cash because of the fiscal stimulus that we saw with the Fed. But that's where price rallied from around 13K all the way up to $70,000. All right, previous bull run of 2017 is a bull run. We had a linear phase, you can see it right here, okay, a linear phase, once again falling back onto that bi-weekly dynamic support, linear phase, and then the exponential phase, right? The exponential phase, guys, if you missed out on the exponential phase, you'll often find that you've missed out on the meat of the entire cycle. It doesn't matter how long you've been here. Oh, I held for all of those years, and can you believe it? It was only in the past 6 months that we saw that crazy rally. Well, too freaking bad. All right, you miss the exponential phase, you'll find that you've missed out a huge chunk, the most meaningful chunk of the bull run. All right, so we had the same thing right here, the two phases, linear and exponential, right? Even on the first cycle, as far as we have charts for, this was 2012, we had a linear phase and then getting into the next exponential phase, right? So we had that even in 2012. Now, as far as this cycle is concerned, guys, it just appears that we're just about getting out of the linear phase. All right, we still have a huge exponential phase that we have in front of us. All right, targets to which? For me, at the very least. I think after we get past 130, $214,000 is the next target range for Bitcoin. Linear, exponential. We are not in the exponential yet. We're just about getting there. All right, so eyes on the prize. I want you guys to remain locked in because Bitcoin rallying is also going to present opportunity for the rest of the market. All right. Now we're seeing XRP. XRP is one of the few coins that is currently out, not one of the few, but one of 20 coins, maybe only 20, that have been outperforming Bitcoin. All right, so eyes on XRP, of course, but look for the other winners out there as well, which there are quite a few. Once again, I've presented one on the Mango Premium video section, so go ahead and check that out. Okay, but to tell you guys when I'll be expecting the altcoin rally, that altcoin mania phase, okay, to wrap this baby up. Monthly. Total MCAP excluding Bitcoin. Total MCAP excluding Bitcoin. I'm looking for this to break the previous high. I'm keeping it that simple. I'm saying we're only getting to that phase if we get this criteria. I want to see a tick on this. I want to be able to check this off, be like, okay, has this chart broken the previous all-time high? If I can check, if I can, basically have a tick mark, great. All right, I want to have that inclusive of, okay, and Bitcoin dominance reversing. So Bitcoin dominance putting in a downtrend. If we can get this combination, I'm saying altcoin cycle, here we come. All right, we could get it, we could not get it. But for one thing, I'll say for certain, there are going to be a few winners. That's why I want to keep you guys locked in. Use your objective indicators, okay? Use the dynamic, use the Mango dashboard, and take advantage of the free money at the corner of the room when it comes to putting on those trades. Capture the opportunities. There are going to be some really, really good winners. You just got to make sure that you're there to take the trade and execute and risk manage those trades. All right? The bull market is going to take care of your profits. All you got to do is take care of your losses. That's it. That's it. Get in, join the giveaway, $2,000 giveaway on the next live stream, either happening tomorrow or Sunday. We're going to make an announcement on the Discord. Join the Discord, the Discord, themangoway.com/Discord. Sign up for the account, deposit 50, you qualify for the giveaway. Cool beans? Cool beans. And yet take advantage of the deposit bonuses, guys. Free money. Jeez. This could be, B says, hello, so this historical ATH for XRP is 290 and 233. Do you think this will be price resistance short term? And if so, will price hover roughly between 250 and this resistance? I think price has been, based on what we've been seeing so far, and based on the time spent on this range, I'm saying that, yes, it could prove to be resistance, but what is resistance ultimately? Resistance is there to be broken. Right? I don't want you guys to be falling victim to also, hey, price got rejected here. It's probably going to get rejected again, right? Like I said, you could see a pullback opportunity. So what I want you guys to look at resistance as an opportunity for you to jump in on position if you are left out of position. Jump in on a good bid, one that is easy for you to manage. That's how I want you guys to treat resistances, especially when we're clearly in a bull run. All right, use that to help you understand when should you be patient on a better bid. Right? Those are your pivot points. Those are your points of reference. Points of reference to help you understand, am I getting into a good trade or a shit trade? I think that XRP's move here, now this is an opinionated piece. This is not like TA. The TA right now is telling you that, okay, we have a breakout of two patterns. We have a breakout, we're looking at crazy targets to the upside. At the very least, we're looking at target of 373. My opinion on this, based on the amount of time we spent on this range, I say this breakout is going to be an actual breakout where we're likely going to start seeing a trend being established on the daily time frame. So look for a daily trend. So higher highs, higher lows, of course. I'm just going to switch everything off. So I'm looking for something like this. The daily uptrend, you'll find that XRP, when it starts ripping, it trends really well on the daily time frame. Pay attention to where the mid time frames are usually establish its trend on. Every coin is different. XRP, I believe, is usually 12-hour daily. I have to check again. I'll present in the daily video. But check the 12-hour or the daily. You can score some amazing bids on either one of those trends on that next pullback. Okay, so pay attention to that because that's where the bids are at. That's how you can use resistance to help you capture good bids. 1 hour dynamic trade for LTF traders. Yeah. Let's go ahead and turn that on. And yeah, please, oh, wow, beautiful. Look at this. It's been trending on the 1 hour time frame. And right now, guys, for those of you who have the dynamic indicator, turn on the position manager. It highlights an entire zone that you should be following right now. And we're coming down to give that an official tap. I bet you, Sean, that probably even lines up with the 4 hour, right? Maybe. Let's see how aggressive this is. Man, this trend is freaking aggressive. That's an aggressive trend. That's amazing. It lines up with the position manager op on the 4 hour time frame. That's cool. But yeah, gun for the good bits and stay locked in. There is a lot of opportunity out there. Lots of opportunity. We're going to be covering on the dailies. So hit the sub if you haven't already subbed to the channel. Get into the Discord chat if you're not already in and you're looking for a fun place to, well, vibe with and share your trade ideas. No room for toxicity. So that is going to be a quick sort of heads up for you guys. And all traders are welcome, okay? I don't care if you're a beginner. Beginners especially, please join, okay? If you guys want to learn more about TA and risk management and how do you really go about really identifying the macro. And don't forget, free money in the corner of the room. Sign up for the giveaway because if nobody signs up, I mean, I'll keep the money and I'll buy something I don't need, okay? It's very simple. It's simple sauce. Alrighty, guys. Thank you all for tuning in today. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.